Survival made simple. What's up guys, Dan here, Coalcracker. So survival is super simple. Like as long as you meet these things back here on that board, I don't know if you can see them, fire, water, shelter, food. We like preach that and preach that and preach that on this channel. Recreating outdoors, you need to be able to cover those bases. If you can do that, you, my friends, can survive. Now, when it comes to putting a kit together, okay, there's a lot of different options out there. So today we're gonna look at some different options. You might be actually surprised what you see in Dan's bag right here. So the bag itself, right, you're probably like outside the norm for Dan a little bit. And the reason for that is one of my other things that I love to do is my son and I put on some camouflage. We throw on our, I would say, not really bug out bags. We're not big bug out kind of people, but they're like reconnaissance packs. Like say something bad happens, right? A get home bag. We put those on and then we go hiking in the woods and we look for water sources and signs for animal, and then we just practice different skills while we're out there. And because we're out there in a woodland environment or an outdoor environment in general, you want to always make sure, and myself included, that we cover those survival priorities. So what survival equipment do I have inside this pack? So that's what we're going to look at today, and it's a little bit different, like I said, than I would normally show on this channel. I mean, not too much different, but you might be surprised. So let's just break into it. So actually, let's start on this side, right? So I keep all my stuff in these outside pockets that pertain to like emergency style equipment, so I can get to it a little bit quicker. One thing is just water, okay? So water, super important in the summertime, and it has been super hot, super humid here, so I'm going through this like crazy to the point that I actually carry 4 of these. I have this, I have 2 other ones sitting out here that I just filled up, and there's another one inside the main compartment of the pack. It's just so much easier in the summer to carry water along with you. So that's a big one with water, and we're gonna get to how I actually disinfect that water here in a minute. And then food varies day to day with me, okay? Because I usually carry we go out in the evenings, so I carry my evening snack with me. So it might be protein bars, it might be like some type of like Slim Jim, like beef jerky, something like that. In the summertime, one thing you have to keep in mind, like this is chocolate based, right? A chocolate protein bar, it's gonna melt if you're gonna be out all day. So you have to adjust your food accordingly with that. But on the go food is always gonna be best. You don't wanna have to get to the point for emergency style rations that you have to cook. That is such a pain in the butt. Although it'll work and it's food, you don't want to have to go through that. So my food, again, varies every day. Just something on the go that you can eat that's not going to melt is going to be best. And I carry a lot of water to begin with me. So that's a good start. Now let's break into the other side. This is like all the good stuff in here. So first and foremost, we have this mesh bag. We're going to be releasing these here pretty soon on our website. Inside this bag is all the stuff that I need specific to this. And again, it's you got trial and error, right? But most of this is still going to fit those survival priorities. So the first thing that's sticking out here, of course, good old T60 emergency shelter. This is the micro. This is camouflage, and it just fits the theme here of what we're going for. So carry this. This is going to work as a cover element, of course, in rain or any type of precipitation, and even in cooler nights you can wrap this around your body and just trap some of that body heat inside. So we have that. I do keep a Ranger band, which is just a heavy rubber band around this, because number one, I might need that for something else, so utility use, but you can also light those things on fire. They work really well as a fire starter. Another utility item that is in here, I know you're like, this is supposed to be a survival kit and I'm showing all this utility, but duct tape. So this feeds into my fire creation. I can rip strands of this off and light it and burn, but I can also use this to repair things, and then I can, of course, light it with my lighter. So this is just a Bic lighter inside an Exotac waterproof case. I love these waterproof cases from Exotac. They float and they keep my lighter dry in bad conditions, so that's really nice. Next, my newest favorite fire starter, and it is these military aviation kits. So these have little tinder things in them. They're just the little white cotton things, and then off to the one side is the actual striker. So I gotta just shake and get this thing out. Come on, Dan, you're on TV here, right? So these things throw a little spark, and that spark is more than enough to get these tinders lit up and get your fire going. So a really cool kit overall there. And then lastly, I have some of the Yuko Survival Stormproof matches. So just a few of those. They're not in a big case because I don't need that many. I have a lot of other stuff going on here. Now, jumping over to the water. So like I said, I carry a lot of water with me in this kit, but what happens if I start running low? So part of the reason I also have 4 of those is not only to have a lot of water, but as I drink those, I can fill up, and then what I can use are these aqua tabs. So you drop these aqua tabs in. The instruction manual I keep inside this bag with them. Drop the aqua tabs in, and it will disinfect the water. I don't have to resort to boiling water, and I can just disinfect it and keep myself cool, not sitting next to a campfire. And then I do have a compass in here, which I have some other mapping equipment inside here because I've been teaching my son more navigational stuff. So I have a compass in here so we can utilize that while we are out if we would need to self-rescue. And then last but not least, I have some paracord. So this is the 325 paracord. It's just a little bit smaller diameter than the 550, and to be honest, it works really, really well for everything that I have needed it for up to this point. I'm still testing it on ridge lines and stuff like that, but overall, I like it. And then 2 other items that I have in here, I do have my knife in here. So although I am somewhat of a preacher that you don't need a knife if you have the survival priorities here, like I do, right? I have water, I have shelter, I have fire, and I have food. Like, I don't really need this, but it's good to have a knife. So I have a knife in here, and then something way outside the norm that I just like to show people, like, hey, just because you're putting together some outdoor equipment along with, be it your like motorcycle equipment or maybe some hiking gear or whatever, just you can always add some extra stuff. So I like a dry place to sit, and it has been raining like crazy. So what I did was I took one of our gum blankets. These are like a vinyl rubber mixture on one side, so you can see them right here. This goes down onto the ground. It'll block moisture from coming through. These are typically white. Hit them with some Krylon spray paint, and then I have now camouflaged this thing so I'm not sitting on a big white piece of cloth. And these work really, really well to just sit on. I pull this out, I unfold it 1 or 2 times, and I have a dry seat. Or if I have to lay my gear out and I'm working on different things, I can open this up. Or if I want to lay down under my sheltering system, I have this. So I think just for the summertime months, I really like having something additional along with me like that. So after looking at this equipment, I think we can all agree survival is simple. Fire, water, shelter, food. As long as you have those things covered, you're good. And even here, I added some extra stuff in. It didn't take up much room, and it's just making me a happier camper when I'm out there, which is at the end of the day, if you're in a bad situation, is going to get you a lot further along, being just a little bit more comfortable if you can swing it. So definitely, when you're going outside to recreate, think about your situation and always have some of this emergency equipment with you, because it could at some point save your life. So if you like this video, hit like and subscribe. You can also check us out at coalcrackerbushcraft.com for all our classes, our gear, and our blog. And until next video, stay in the woods.